Over dinner at SpaceX, a young intern asked Elon, "You always say talent matters, so why didn't you hire Raj? That guy cracked our engine algorithm in 4 hours." Everyone at the table went quiet. Elon looked up, calm, focused, and said, "Because he's dangerous." Raj was from India. 26 MIT Mezun. He broke a propulsion bottleneck our team had been stuck on for months during his interview. No one questioned his brilliance. But then came the background check. Nothing illegal, but off. Stories, rumors, a trail of broken NDAs. A startup he bailed on right before launch, after gutting it from the inside. And a text he once sent to a classmate. Morals are for the weak. The winners write the ethics after the war. Elon asked to meet him in person. No cameras, no HR, just one-on-one. "You're smart," Elon said. "But I need to know, do you believe in anything beyond yourself?" Raj laughed. "Belief is inefficient. I follow data, not stories." Elon stared at him. No anger, just silence. Then, "So if I gave you access to our AI models, our patents, and you saw a better deal somewhere else, what would stop you?" Raj smiled. "Nothing. I take it. Business is survival, right?" Elon stood up. "Then we're done." That night, someone asked Elon, "Wouldn't hiring him give us an edge?" Elon shook his head. "A society that hires skill without soul will collapse from the inside." Then he added something quieter. "You can train smart. You can't train good." 6 months later, national headlines broke the story. Tech giant Quantum Horizons hires controversial genius. Quantum stock jumped 12% overnight. Our team watched the press conference, Raj standing confidently beside QH's CEO, smiling for the cameras as they announced a revolutionary propulsion breakthrough. Martin, our senior engineer since '97, threw his coffee mug across the room. "They'll regret it," he muttered. "Mark my words." I wondered if Elon had been wrong. My 401k wasn't growing any younger, and Quantum's compensation packages were legendary. That night at home, my wife Carol noticed my mood. "Still thinking about that whiz kid?" she asked. "Yeah," I admitted. "Makes me wonder if principles are luxuries we can't afford anymore." Carol, a third-grade teacher for 30 years, looked at me hard. "When did you start believing that character doesn't matter?" 18 months passed. SpaceX landed the first human crew on Mars. The world celebrated. Meanwhile, Quantum Horizons was in shambles. It started with small things, design specs leaking to competitors, critical talent suddenly departing. Then came the whistleblower reports. Toxic leadership, sabotaged projects, paranoia infecting every department. The final blow was devastating. Quantum's revolutionary engine, suspiciously similar to our discarded early prototype, catastrophically failed during a critical demonstration for the Pentagon. No casualties, thank God, but billions in damage and lost contracts. As investigations began, Raj was already gone, vanished with terabytes of proprietary data and a hefty offshore account. 3 years to the day after that dinner conversation, I found myself in Elon's office. Not by invitation, I'd requested the meeting. "I need to apologize," I said. "I questioned your judgment about Raj." Elon looked up from his desk, lines etched deeper around his eyes than before. "You weren't alone," he said. "How did you know?" I asked. "What did you see that we missed?" He sighed, putting down the tablet he'd been studying. "When I was young, I thought brilliance was everything," he said. "But I've built enough companies to learn that the smartest person in the room isn't always the one you need." He walked to the window, gazing at the launch pad where our Mars return mission was preparing. Innovation isn't just about intelligence. It's about resilience, integrity, the ability to serve something larger than yourself. He turned back to me. A team with shared values can solve problems a group of disconnected geniuses never will. Last week, I brought my grandson to Visitor's Day. Now 8, he stared wide-eyed at the massive rockets, asking 1,000 questions about Mars. During the tour, we passed the wall of contributors, thousands of names of those who helped make interplanetary travel possible. Not just engineers and scientists, but fabricators, janitors, accountants, cafeteria workers. Every person who showed up day after day committed to something bigger than themselves. Could I work here someday? My grandson asked. If you work hard and always do what's right, even when it's difficult, I told him. Later, we spotted Elon across the hangar, now in his 70s, but still involved. He nodded to us, then continued his conversation with a young woman in a wheelchair, listening intently to her ideas. That evening, as I drove home along the coast, I thought about talent and character, about the seductive lure of brilliance without boundaries, about the kind of world we build with our choices. Raj could have helped us reach Mars faster. But Elon wasn't building a rocket. He was building a future. And the future doesn't belong to the cleverest. It belongs to those who still believe in right and wrong. But there's a final chapter to this story that few know. 5 years after the Quantum Horizons collapse, a package arrived at SpaceX headquarters. Inside was a handwritten letter and a thumb drive. The letter was from Raj. I was wrong, it began. I thought principles were stories we tell ourselves to feel virtuous. I believed only results mattered. The thumb drive contained breakthrough calculations for interstellar propulsion, Raj's work during his years off the grid. I offer this freely, with no conditions, the letter continued. Not for redemption or employment, simply because humanity should have it. The final paragraph read, Mr. Musk was right about me. I was dangerous, then not because of my intelligence, but because of my arrogance. I've learned that innovation without conscience leads nowhere worth going. Elon never commented publicly on the package. The calculations were verified, incorporated anonymously into our research, and accelerated our deep space program by a decade. Sometimes I wonder where Raj is now. If he found peace, if he finally understood what Elon knew all along, that how we achieve matters as much as what we achieve. Because technology without wisdom is just sophisticated destruction. And brilliance without humanity is the most dangerous force of all. In the end, the Mars mission wasn't just about reaching another planet. It was about becoming the kind of people worthy of new worlds. And that journey begins not with the mind, but with the heart.